see this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
When it's foreigner come jumping up just in front of me, a blue skirt below the waist, silver dust pick up in the face. While jamming me and touching, the woman get vexed and she said to me, it's the way you're doing, like you smoke or something. You must watch your business, man, take care of your jam this. I ain't want no man to touch up me hand, yeah. As they move, let me pass and allow me to play me man. Yeah, she ballin', boy. Oi, 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 oi. Trying to be friendly, I say, madam, sorry, but you must get jammed if you jumping in my country. You failing to realize, when you play math, you must go for pride. So anybody jam you, I say you mustn't vex you to jam them too. It's the way you do it, I can't drink or something. Hey, you must watch your business, man, take care your jam this. I ain't want no man to touch up me hand, hey. As I move fast and allow me to play my man. She still ballin', oi, 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 oi. Give her something as I take this to feel right, because I want to get in contact with you before night. have a pal. Look around and you're going to see he's jamming on cheese, he's jamming on him.
It's the way you do him. I can sniff on something.
Hey, you must watch your business, man. Take care your jam this. I ain't one no man. Do touch up me hand, yeah. Move like me pass and allow me to play the man. She's still balling, oi, 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 oi. Ba-la-la-la. Coming down to last lap, the woman got to rap. Mr. Never hold a black man yet, but you jump up. But the way you move in your waist, you could feel like you have some taste. But I ain't care what they say about me, I want you hold me around me belly. But
It's the way you do him.
like it's never something, yeah, you must watch your business. Be careful you jam this. I ain't one no man, do touch up me hand, yeah. You better move like me fast and allow me to play me man. She's still balling, oi, 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 oi. Ba-la-la-la, yeah, 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 yeah,
Rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
All right, everybody, and of course, good morning to you. Welcome to it. Welcome to a new era, TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. And of course, this is where we take you above and beyond. So glad to be in your company. So glad that you made it this morning. You are in the land of the living. That is enough to give God thanks and praises for. Trust me.
Woman get vexed and she said to me,
You already has received your blessing for today.
like you smoke or something.
But good morning to Trinidad, Tobago, neighbors in the Caribbean. Good day to you. Friends and family, those who are streaming all around the globe, thank you so much for getting up, turning us on, logging on, just being here. I can't tell you how good that feels. But of course, this is New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. I want to say much thanks to the Heavenly Father, as always, for bringing us together for another day and all that we do, dear God. Let it be a blessing on to you on this TBT Throwback Thursday. Yeah, I know it's a Thursday already. I'm yours truly, Sir Charles. Happy am I to be in this space with you. I say welcome everybody. Remember, this is your Get Up and Go. Welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Get up, get up. It's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
All right, good morning on this Thursday morning. Coming to you live out of Trinidad and Tobago. It's the Breakfast Show on NETT Radio TT. Of course, good morning to all of our listeners and viewers wherever you are across the planet in whatever time zone. Thanks for joining us this morning. We know you have a choice and we're glad that you chose us. And good morning to my co-host this morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, Richard. You are a breath of fresh air this morning. You're very bubbly this morning. Well, yeah.
Well, I got some sleep. Well, I didn't really get as much sleep as I wanted because I was busy. You know, I'm always tinkering, learning new stuff online. So I was in that frame last night. So, you know, all the stuff online and stuff. But yeah, I'm up time.
I know how that could be, and sometimes when you recognize it, you have to tell yourself, "Hey, look, go and sleep." You gotta rest down. You gotta force yourself sometimes when you get involved in certain things.
Yep.
Yeah.
How things with you, John?
Yeah. What is that?
I say, how things with you?
Yeah, things are okay. I want to apologize for those who are on the TV stream because I came in a little midway within the anthem this morning. I went live with the stream, turned away to do something else, and then realized, well, wait, now you didn't really go live, huh? So I apologize for that. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. Feeling really good to be here this morning. I had a nice experience yesterday. Yesterday was my my last daughter's graduation, so it felt good to be there to see all the guardians, see them now positioning themselves going forward, and you realize, well, wait now, it wasn't there too long ago, but that is some time that has gone, eh? And you look back on all of that, and you say, well, they are now getting all this inspiration and encouragement to go forward into the world, and it's just good to listen to some of the to be able to listen to some of the messages that were sent to them, and some of them even at whatever stage in your life, it always inspires you, So it was really nice. So all the children of Tranquility Secondary, all the best going forward.
Yeah, graduation ceremonies always, they always have a sense of joy to them because it's about progress. It's about moving on, and life is constantly about moving on. When you think about it, you're always moving on to something else. But yeah, so good. Congrats to your daughter.
Yeah, and it makes you realize, the world doesn't stop, eh? Regardless of what you may feel or how important that you feel you are to it. Trust me, the world moves on.
It moves on.
Yeah. So enjoy your space, make the best of it, and be the best that you can.
Yep.
Yeah. So
that's true.
You're getting ready for weekend and stuff and thing. Everything in place. You're doing this for so long. Everything is supposed to be in place now.
Well, yeah, but still, every theater you go through, every theater that a play goes to is a logistical event, even if you've been to that theater before. Mm-hmm. So you always have to make sure that things are in place. For me who don't know, in terms of a play, of course, it's not only the set crew, but there'll be a crew that's dealing with the construction of set. It's also the lighting crew. There's a crew that's dealing with lighting and sound. So all of those different components have to come together. And you tend to get a little well-oiled when you're in it for a long time. But still, sometimes, you can meet challenges and the logistics. You never take it for granted. You have to always make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Yeah. So that's where we are this weekend. We're at Cipriani College with Scandal and Cedrus. Comes back to Cipriani College. We're so looking forward to it. I'm on Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. I tell you all tickets. I tell people get their tickets early. Some of you may not ignore me. Up to yesterday, I was in Eastgate and a gentleman came and he was talking to me, and he said, well, he's going to come to the play this weekend. I said, well, so do you have your tickets yet? He said, no. I said, well, I suggest you get them.
You had to come another weekend.
Not today, get them tomorrow. So he said he would go today. He said he would have gone yesterday. Yesterday he would have gone to the box office at Cipriani College to get his tickets when they open, because they open at 12 noon to 6 p.m. So I don't know if he did, but I assume maybe he went. But yeah, because most outlets are almost close to selling out there. I tell you, this play has been incredibly popular. People are just loving it. And I mean, the reviews are beyond excellent. So I'd say get your tickets early. Check to make sure that the outlet you want to go to has tickets. And of course, the outlets are K Squared Fashions, West Mall, Eastgates, and Brentwood Mall in Chabonas, Jabili Rawi in Tunapuna, Electronics in Ariba, Charflair Auto Services in, Charflair, and Anthony's Florals in Val Park Shopping Plaza. That's where you can get your tickets. And you can also get tickets at the box office at Cipriani College from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Of course, that's one place you could definitely get. And even they are starting to run now. So get your tickets early. I know a lot of people come on the door at Cipriani College. This is not the place to do it. You should get your tickets in hand. But we're looking forward to an exciting weekend this weekend. Of course, you also have theater going on at Central Bank Auditorium this weekend with Two Fat Fellas by CPR Productions, which is Penelope Spencer and Cecilia Salazar and Rudy. They're all at Central Bank. So they'll be in Port of Spain while we'll be at Cipriani College. Running at the same time, basically. So you have choices. But I always say support live theater wherever you are. Support live theater. But so looking forward to that. Also this weekend.
Yeah, and that other play, that's the next long running play also. Since it started, the Two Fat Fellas, in my mind, every time I go to pronounce it, I'm seeing it every day, but I can't. It never sticks as Two Fat Fellas, and I always say Two Fat Guys. I don't know what it is about me and the name of this play. The fellas never stay with me, but but I always say Two Fat Guys. But Two Fat Fellas, people, it's on.
Yep.
I'm happy to see that the arts is doing so well. That kind of rejuvenation is taking place, and other persons here that is what will encourage the others to get involved also.
And there's so many young people because there's a theater arts program in secondary schools, and you get as an actor, of course, another actor has been around for a little while, and of course I've been involved in all manners of theater. I mean, I've worked backstage, I've done all of that too. I've worked in box office when I was younger. I did all of that too. But in terms of the positions of being an actor, being a director, being a producer, many times I have students in the secondary school system interview me concerning one of the roles or sometimes with different roles. So many times, and you don't refuse. You do those because it's part of their. It's part of their component that they have to interview somebody in the industry. So sometimes I'm on a Zoom call and it's 4 students at the same time, but sometimes each is asking me questions on a different component.
Right.
So sometimes I'm actually online for nearly 4 hours because each segment kind of takes an hour. But it's something you enjoy doing, and you have the knowledge, you have the experience in terms of being able to talk about it and answer the questions that they have. So that's why I say, and for a lot of the young actors coming up, there's so much young talent coming up that, that the longevity of theater and the performing arts, I think, is in good hands. Because you have a lot of young people coming up, not only in theater, but also in film. You have a lot of young people and their interest, coming through the system. So.
Yeah, well, I know the some people are facing some challenges where the film industry is concerned, and but I'm hoping that especially where funding and trying to really elevate it, because apparently it's a very costly something. I've never been involved in it, but I've talked to people who have been involved in it, and that cost factor is always a major thing, because sometimes they know how to start, but they don't know how they're going forward.
Yeah, they just start and you just do.
Yeah.
Just do. There's a lot of activity in the film sector, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but in the general speaking in the Caribbean. And there are a lot of creatives mobilizing in different ways. But Trinidad and Tobago, it's one of the areas that I think Kama Mirage should really pay attention to in terms not only of the concessions, but also government investment in it, because there's a lot of good talent, and once you can start making a foothold of consistency in good film or television series coming out of Trinidad and Tobago, that's it, you know. It starts to open up the doors and that industry starts to take off. But it needs some investment and really a lot of review of the financial legislation to really make it happen. Barbados and a lot of those other islands moving ahead. Making decisions quickly and treating it seriously. I'm not saying that we are not treating it seriously, but I'm thinking there's much more we can do.
Yeah, well, that is so true. It's always that extra, but it is an industry that could really, you know, do a lot, not just for Trinidad and Tobago, you know, as a country, but to help its citizens who are involved in those genres of entertainment and
it's a lot of people involved in that, from catering to costumiers to set people, construction people, beyond actors and the crew that works with it, and the skills being developed when you work with international studios. It's a lot, and it's a huge industry globally. So it's really something, and it can also put you on the map and feed back into tourism into Trinidad and Tobago. So there are lots of, you know, intersecting industries together with it. So, but it's something, but you have to have the vision, and you have to have people articulating the vision. That's how I would do it. Yeah. But lots going on. But any news, oh God, there's lots going on. There's a real bacchanal. But that municipal police, it is a bacchanal. That's all I will say at this point, because I know we're going to good news. But
yes. It is a story on steroids.
What? It's like a real life movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do the good news and then we come back and look at it.
The National Stadium of Trinidad and Tobago, otherwise known as the Hazley Crawford Stadium, has been labeled the home of sports for decades. Built since 1982, the stadium has become outdated, old-fashioned, and offers zero fan experience. However, this archaic structure is about to undergo an $80 million modernization, scheduled to start in late 2026. When completed, it will be the biggest and most futuristic stadium in the Caribbean. Renovation will start with the addition of an upper tier, doubling the capacity to 40,000. A new 360 degrees roof will be constructed, covering all seating areas 100%. Keeping in line with modern stadiums around the world, the exterior facade will be built from perforated metal panels with built-in LED lights to make the stadium come alive at night and change colors, further enhancing fan experience. The vision of the designers, Cunningham Brothers Architect, is to transform this outdated stadium to a theater of sports. This epic transformation will be financed by private funding, mainly generated from naming rights, sponsorship, branding, rental, and weekly events. There will be 20 premium VIP boxes rented to the corporate sector, raising millions per year. Solar panels will be erected on the roof, and rainwater will be recycled to promote energy efficiency and minimize utility costs. Other key features of this modernization project to make the National Stadium a world-class venue includes high-tech media room, team store, modern changing rooms, exterior TV screen, and new transport hub. This iconic, eco-friendly, world-class infrastructure is designed to inspire the next generation of athletes and passionate home fans.
Well, I hope that is real and that's going to happen.
I hope it is something that really comes to pass.
Yeah, because they say at the end of 2026 is when it should start. So, I mean, I hope so. I mean, it really needs some refurbishing. Well, a lot of refurbishing. Larry Gomes Stadium in Arima certainly needs a lot of refurbishing. So some of the, the stadia across the country really need some love and attention, and maintenance and constant maintenance, and encouraging. You have to sync with a lot of the community sports groups and let them utilize the facilities so it becomes always is alive and active. So maybe that's the overall overarching plan. But certainly that's a pretty impressive good news, Sir Charles.
Yeah. As I said, just again, I hope it is something that comes to pass. You know what I mean? But where some things that I see the government is pushing at. They always say, despite everything, this administration, when they have a kind of drive, a futuristic drive that is we honor to get Trinidad and Tobago in a particular way. So I'm really hoping it's one of those things that can happen. And you're right, a lot of those places in the communities and stuff, because people hold on to it as if it's their personal thing to it. And so they only allow certain people and certain times and all kind of restrictions when they're in charge of it. But they need a little more transparency and a little opening up to some of those facilities in some of those areas.
Yeah. So people can use it and make the sport more and more part of the whole, as everyday aesthetic, so to speak, of Trinidad and Tobago, because even though it's there and you have a lot of people, I see some little children learning football and all sorts. I mean like 3, 4, 5, 6, so you have all of the and then serious football classes and stuff.
Yeah.
So you have all of that kind of sporting activities going across the country. So it's good for them to be able to utilize these kind of facilities that are dotted across Trinidad and Tobago, rather than them just falling into ruin because of non-use. And the only time I know the Larry Stadium get really used, to me, so I could be wrong, to me, that get used a lot, was during COVID, when people had to line up to go and get their injections. Larry Gomes, that's when I saw Larry Gomes come to life.
And look what for.
And that's where I went and I saw the obvious disrepair and lack of attention. Because I was looking at it and I was saying, oh my God, what have they done to this facility or not done for it to be in this kind of condition, But it is what it is.
Let's say hi to the folks in the stream. I
don't know where I'm looking here, so I'll take it back. Good morning to the people in the stream, and let's get through this. Okay. All right, so we started with Susan Jessup. She was in. She says, blessings. Good morning, Sir Charles, Richard Wendell. From Susan Corrine, Ms. Gemma Maria, H. Maria, blessings. Battaglia. Okay, she is there again. Robert Allen says, good morning to the crew and all listeners, etc. Valerie Mendoza is always also in. Good morning. Joyce Phillip, top of the morning. Margaret Thomas, she says, good morning, guys. Odell Guy, Eunice Dublin. Ava Smith says, good morning. She's locked on and thank God for life. This is Norris Wilkinson. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Norris. Manuela Peters says, good morning to everyone. Have a blessed day. Marcia Rock says, good morning to the crew. Robert Taylor, good morning, guys. Felix Kazoo, good morning, gentlemen of the Breakfast Show family. It's Thursday. Enjoy. Yeah.
It's what?
Thursday.
Thors?
Thors.
Oh.
Like Thor, Greek god Thor.
Okay.
Right.
All right, good. Go ahead.
Slick Buddy Grip says, good morning, gentlemen. Erica Charles, and she says, happy birthday to my handsome great grandson, Daniel Moyes. Is that how you pronounce that? 4 years today. Happy birthday, Daniel. Happy 4 years old. Michael Cadet says, morning, everyone. Boyd Badesi from DB says, good morning. Pamela O'Connor, blessed morning, guys. Everyone, and to everyone in the chat. Debbie Modest says, gentlemen, good morning. Apollonus, good morning, guys. Marlon Motley, good morning, Marlon. Sandra Gabrielle, an excellent morning. to the handsome gentleman. Well, you got it right this morning, didn't you? Bernadette Yates and Alicia Yates. Yates, good morning. Another day, this is Trinidad, 2003. Another day in the land of the living. Pleasant Thursday to everyone. Good morning, Trinidad. Carol Gabara says, good morning, all. Ingrid from Tucson, she says, good morning. Deborah, is this a Deborah? Surrett, good morning, Sir Charles, and Richard, and all viewers and listeners. Have a safe day. Diane, is this Diane Peen? Blessed good morning, guys, and the live chat. Patricia Defoe says, good morning, all. Lincoln Foxtrot 12, good morning, guys. Good morning, Lincoln. Anthony Tinto says, grand rising to the crew and locked on. Scorpion Pepper says, good morning. And it's Thursday, happy Thursday. Carla Hercules says, good morning, everyone. Kate George, Kenny and Harlem says, good morning, gentlemen. Carol Gabara dancing. Merle McCoby says, good morning. Alistair Hart says, good morning, guys. Wayne Ramsey says, good morning. Julia Samantha says, good morning. Garvin Frank, good morning. Mrs. R, good morning to you, Mrs. R. And she says, good morning to you, Sir Charles.
Thank you very much.
Claire Roland says, good morning, everyone. Cat Consulting Services, grand rising, gentlemen. My phone crashed and froze yesterday with the only image showing Pete, Sir Charles.
You have a good phone there, all right.
Yes, Sir Charles, will say you're blessed.
Have a good phone there, all right.
Wendy Ann James says, good morning, Richard Wendell and Sir Charles. The picture on Gael is so much clearer and very crisp than previously. Very good. Well, I don't know what Gael is doing.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, it's also very clear. Congratulations for the refinement. Did you do something different, Sir Charles?
Actually, no, I did not. I don't know this morning.
I saw it at the Daprima Bowl, and it's very funny. I suppose he's talking about scandal in citrus. Thank you, Alistair. On top of the day, and a thankful Tuesday to all maximum respect to the terrific trio. That says David McCarthy, and Grand Rising Gentleman from Magic, Gail Ann and the Ultimate Sheen. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Gail Ann. And
Good morning, Gailey.
good morning, St. Charles, Michael Roberts, and Richard. And the Republic man back home now. Exactly right. I had a great time with Wendell, and over I don't see much Trini in Japan. So okay, Manish. So thanks for that. Yeah, so you got it right. He's on his way. Trinity Mill Kitchen, good morning to the breakfast room. Booked out and listening and having a wonderful day. Is this Doctor? No, there's Deborah Sarrett again. She's talking about the maintenance of the buildings. Hi, everyone. There's Dean Allen. Stadia Development. What an eye open. Trinity Get Fit, morning, guys. Richard M. Jeremiah, the love is massive.
Hey,
good morning, guys. Doreen Pierre, good morning. Cynthia, good morning. Locked on, blessed day all. CJ from New York, good morning, CJ. Susie B, good morning, everyone. Andre Renault, good morning, guys. Blessed day. CJ from New York again. Mowing 555. Well, Ingrid, where is Wendell? Well, Michael just told you all.
Yeah, Michael's remote.
Yeah.
Transit.
Good morning, everyone. Kim Govaya, Rena. Well, these people talking among themselves, I guess. People talking among themselves. Good morning, everyone. You will cherish our realism. Okay. All right. So that's it for the chat. Yeah, the stream. Over to you, Sir Charles.
Okay, good. So come in and let's go to the WhatsApp chat. Good morning to Kent. Navantel, he was here very early.
Also, Miss Sampson was up very early. Miss Sampson was up very, very early this morning. But, whoa. Well, Suzanne was also here. So, Suzanne, good morning to you. Karen and Kelly coming out of Carenage. Mr. Good morning to you. Sankofa, good morning. Grand Rising. Fifi out there in Addis Ababa. Got to say good morning to you and the folks out there in Ethiopia. Mr. Augustine, thank you very much for your blessings on the guys this morning. Zena out there, I think she's probably still in Tobago. Richard Zena sent me a little clip that she took from Instagram. So I opened it and see what the person talking once in Spanish. I just said, Zena, you're trying to confuse me this already day. I couldn't understand what one thing that was going on in the video, But thanks very much for the video, anyhow, Zena. Captain Ron, Orlando, people, good morning. CJ out there in New York, up early as always. Mr. Billy, Powder Magazine, Archbishop Ashton Clark, and the people coming in from Canada. Also, Nicole in Canada, good morning to you. Judith in Tobago. Judith, I've been trying to get on to Fali Augustine for the longest while. Mr. Augustine don't answer his phone at all. I call him morning, noon, and night. I'll leave a message. See if you can get on to Mr. Augustine for a minute. All right. Cynthia Aaron, good morning to you. Mr. Beeps, P.T. Valley, good morning to you. Ron DeSantis Jr., thank you very much for your greetings this morning. And I think that is it. Oh, and Pauline, good morning to all you people. All right, so we are going for that break. It's now 23 minutes before the hour, 7 o'clock. When we come back, we're going to check in and see what's happening in the newspaper. Plenty of things are happening there, as Richard said. And then we have our morning poll coming up. So you see plenty between now and 7 o'clock. So stay with us.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Central Bank Auditorium. The ridiculously funny comedy Two Fat Fellas is coming April 25th and 26th.
2 nights only.
Two Fat Fellas stars Cecilia, Kenny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rod.
Tickets available at Dorman Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral, Val Park, Beachology, Mokorampo Road, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, and the Falls at Westmore. And IslandEtickets.com. Central Bank box office opens Thursday the 23rd of April. For more info, call or text 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Two Fat Fellas, Central Bank, 25th and 26th of April. 2 nights only.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Scandal in Cedros heads back to Cipriani College. You heard right. The scandal is back at Cipriani College on Saturday the 25th of April at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 26th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Box office at Cipriani College opens on Monday 20th of April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. People can't get enough of Scandal in Cedros. Cipriani College, we coming back.
Scandal in Cedros.
You know what? Let me get straight into the newspapers because the newspaper headlines. I'll start with the Trinidad Express because there are lots of stories going on today. Well, it seems like every day there's stories going on in Trinidad, quite frankly.
You know.
Everyone? There's never any ease up really. There's always something else going on. Anyway, so Trinidad Tobago Express for today. Let me see what the main headlines are. Just now. Okay. All right, let me just reload that because a big ad blocking me. PM firearms from station sold for months. That's one of the headlines in the Express. An economic asset for Trinidad and Tobago. And the Prime Minister is talking about the $220 million Hilton Garden Hotel that is being built in San Fernando, or is due to be built in San Fernando. Caribbean silver, Close Fraser and Jordantown secured silver, and Blazers declared Pronto under 17 champs. So just looking at some of the main stories. Firearms from stations sold for months. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bissessar yesterday said that investigations into the stolen guns and ammunitions at the San Fernando Municipal Police Station indicated that firearms were being taken out of the station and sold for months. The economic asset, she's talking about the $220 million Hilton Garden Inn Hotel in South Trinidad will be an economic asset to the country. She also says that there's no cabinet reshuffle on the cards. A lot of people thought that there was going to be a cabinet reshuffle as the UNC government approaches its first year anniversary. She said a cabinet reshuffle will not take place at this time. So says, well, the person who can say it, the head honcho, the Prime Minister herself. Let me see some other. PM, no plans to move law faculty to UWI campus. Masked gunmen tie up family in Maruga. Idiots and criminally charged are in government, so says Dr. Rowley. Parents receive up to $1,500 as AI textbooks rolled out.
Yeah, that is the story.
Yeah, that's the story that you were talking about, Sir Charles.
Yeah,
so let me just read a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Just before we get into the other newspapers. The Ministry of Education has launched the first 2 artificial intelligence assisted digital textbooks for Form 1 students on the government distributed laptops, mathematics and language arts. So now you know with regard to that. Yipchak targets diversification and structural reform. Usanti's economic case for stronger CARICOM ties. Caribbean Airlines faces Venezuela, Cuba, and fuel pressures. How newspapers can survive the AI shock. TNT has incredible ecotourism opportunities. All of that is in Trinidad Tobago Express today. I'll move straight on to the Trinidad Tobago Garden. Or are you going to do it, Sir Charles? Do you want me to do it?
No, go ahead now. I just tried to type in something.
All right, so Trinidad Tobago Guardian for this morning. WBC murder plot thickens. 28-year-old cop to be charged with killing Anusha Eversley, trafficking of firearms, possession of ammunition, and robbery. COP hails significant breakthrough in officer's case. PM unhappy with state of Trinidad Tobago Municipal Police Station. Service, I guess. PS senior police recommended Sagram Singh leave. Arima Mayor urges stronger security after Corporal Eversley killing. Rowley slams government hypocrisy over crime situation. PDOs issued for penal duo held in Tabita's investigation. Our JSC finds youth employment gaps, training without jobs. Government yet to deliver on major campaign promise of jobs, more than 12,000 job losses in a single quarter. PM back Chevron Shell asset swap as TNT pushes Venezuela gas stocks. One in custody as police expand Kumuto body disposal probe. And High Court awards $1.24 million in contract dispute. All of that is in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning. So now you have an idea of some of the main stories in Trinidad and Tobago today, according to our newspapers.
Wow, that's a lot of stories.
Yeah.
That is a lot of stories this morning.
Now that story with regard to the WPC and the murder has taken on a new component. It's gone in a new direction, and there is a claim that it was all connected to a conspiracy of sorts, where arms and ammunition were being stolen in small amounts and being sold.
That is something, and I can't for the life of me with seeing that all of these ammunition, they are always marked. We always hear about ammunition being, you see it on crime scenes and that's, and I don't know why it is that the police don't seem to have a better tracking system to find out when they find these spent shells, where they are coming from. I find we have been dealing with this for too long.
Well, yeah. I mean, one didn't know. I suppose this has caused scrutiny on armories across Trinidad and Tobago, where those kind of security assets are held, and what is the security for them? And I don't think there was a lot of attention paid previously. I know a lot of times we had looked at the evidence lockers because evidence used to go missing. And we have a history of evidence going missing to the point that there have been calypsos about it. But looking at the armories to this degree, I think that has brought that to the surface, and obviously the auditing of armories across the country in police stations, whether municipal or TTPS, will now be looked at a little bit more robustly, so to speak, or there'll be more rigorous controls. Well, one assumes coming out of this entire situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know the Express had a story concerning. Let me see if I can find that story.
I mean, they put it on so many different legs.
Yeah, you saw that story, but in other words, according to the Express article, let me see if I can get that particular article.
While you check for it, let me do the did you know segment and come back.
Right, okay. And when you come back, we can delve a little bit more into that, and also that AI's assisted textbook story.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this to show everybody exactly what I be talking about. Look at the human race. Just look at everybody, man. We all just trapped in this little phone, bro. Nobody looking up no more. Necks hurt. This sad what we've come to. We used to really be humans. Now look at us. Robots. Just stuck. We don't want to do nothing no more but look in this phone. He way in the corner by the trash cans at Waffle House looking in his phone. Barbershop. Kids. Parents. Stuck. Another person. Look at this. Like, where we go wrong at, y'all? Where did we go wrong? Restaurants. Food line. McDonald's. Where do we go wrong, man? We need to make this viral. We need to get this out. We need to show each other what we look like. We can't even work out no more. Look, at the job sites, everywhere. Don't even pay our kids no more attention. Just stuck. He won't even move. He don't even know the car coming. I'm surprised she know how to walk. Look at this, in the middle of the whole intersection. Just, come on, man. Y'all see what's going on and it's sad. Send this to somebody and tell them to pick their head up. We've lost ourselves and it's sad.
You know, we've discussed that already on this show, you know that. As a child. But sometimes I come into, sometimes I have a good, what we call our green room in theater, which is just kind of the relaxation place where everybody is. As I really come in, everybody's on the phone. I'll say, can you all talk to each other, please?
You have to remind them that they can do it. Yeah. Yes.
You know, sometimes you go at dinner in a restaurant and you see a big, not necessarily all, but a big portion of the table on the phone.
On the phone, yes. And sometimes just one or two persons speaking, everybody else on the phone.
If we go out to dinner or breakfast or whatever, we say, okay, phones away, please. So you converse and talk.
Yeah.
You know, you do that after, you know, take pictures.
It could be
they always say you can't take enough pictures, you know, and plenty of times you don't take enough pictures. But they say you could never have too much pictures of you know, capturing the moments of joy and communion with other people and stuff like that. Take pictures. Don't just let it pass by. You look back at those pictures fondly, you know. But anyway, getting back to the Bacchanal, this is you know what? Let me put on my glasses for this, because this is an article that is pretty explosive about the entire situation in that San Fernando Municipal Police Station. I'm going to read you all some of what the Express had this morning. Sources, you know, actually, I don't need my glasses. My eyes are getting better. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you're seeing YouTube and everything clearer this morning.
I am magically, my eyes are healing. Sources that do the Express, the depth of the police probe into the killing of municipal police acting corporal Anusha Eversley is far-reaching and also points to the municipal police officers falsifying station records to cover up the stolen items. It's a police station, right?
Yeah.
Then the guards, you know, we have a calypso considering that, right?
Yes.
The Express was told police are investigating the claim that Eversley was a key figure in these illegal activities and regularly brought men to the station, including a fellow municipal officer who is a suspect in her killing. Sources said it was suspected. All of this is suspicions, so I'm reading it as is from the Daily Express. Sources said it was suspected that Eversley facilitated the use of municipal police vehicles for the transport of drugs and guns and the escort of gang members during the conduct of criminal activities. There are further allegations that Eversley and a suspect stole firearms and ammunition from the charge room in small numbers, sold them, and split the money. However, police are probing information that she was killed after a dispute whereby she insisted the theft continue on a small scale, but the suspect demanded that they steal all. According to sources, she was on duty that Saturday night and had told two other officers who were also working that she would handle securing the charge room downstairs and then could go upstairs to sleep. Sources said a man came to see Eversley later that night and they engaged in sexual activities. Eversley's body was partly clothed when found. According to sources, a silver-colored vehicle was parked outside the station, and after Eversley was murdered, the suspect signaled to two men in the vehicle to enter the station. They did so and carted out the guns and ammunition. The Express was told that a prime suspect is a drug addict and is said to be the mastermind of the robbery. Sources said police have intelligence as to where some stolen guns and the ammunition are hidden, and people who are aiding and abetting these criminal activities will also be apprehended. The Express contacted Police Commissioner Guevara for comment yesterday, but there was no immediate response. So that's just some. Now, that, as I said, is incredulous that the story has taken such a direction in terms of that policewoman's killing. Is all of this true? Who knows? This is all, what the journalists are gathering from different sources with regard to the situation. But what an incredible situation that this could have, and the Prime Minister also said, I think would have said that apparently there was stolen arms and ammunition going on in small amounts for a while.
Yeah.
How can this, if this is true, now we don't know if this is true, so let's qualify all of that by saying we don't know if this is true, but it's in the newspapers. But how could all of this be happening in an armory of, for all intents and purposes, a state police station, whether municipal or national police, it's still state, and nobody notices anything? And how long has this been going on? And not only that, you have accessories who falsifying the records. Is this going on elsewhere? That's the next question.
Well, you are actually starting to hear now other places, they are now checking and double checking to make sure that some of those things are not happening. And as I said, with all this ammunition that keeps turning up on crime scenes, well, now you have a clear idea, if it's true, as to how. Because if they were pinching off small portions of it and selling it to persons to commit crime, you could understand fully well why all of these things are happening. I mean, this is just crazy.
Yeah, and how much collusion is going on between national security officers in whatever area, whether it be borough or municipal police and national police. How much collusion is going on between them and the criminal element that is causing the disruption of lives of everyday citizens in Trinidad and Tobago and the deaths of citizens across this country? And you are the one who are charged with the responsibility of fighting that and not contributing to it.
It's a lot. People, let's see if we can take a couple of calls before we go up to the news. And of course, our morning poll is up also. It has to deal with these AI books. And after 7 o'clock, we'll probably get back to all this bacchanal that is taking place, because I mean, it really is mind-boggling what you are seeing taking place. But the government is going to be implementing these AI textbooks. I suppose there are some benefits. I know one of the benefits that they have highlighted is that it's going to save people some money, buying the cost of books. It'll probably save you $1,000 or $1,500 having to buy these books, because they will now be on the children's devices and stuff. And so that could be a cost saving exercise for persons, and of course making it accessible. There are some other benefits that we'll probably look at as we go forward, but that is where the morning poll question is coming from. This morning we're asking you, do you support the government's introduction of AI assisted digital textbooks? Right? It's the 4 students. It couldn't fit in the chat, Richard. The characters now, and there's a limitation on the amount of characters on the
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a limitation. But we can take a couple of calls before we go to the news. Are you taking a couple of calls before we go to the news?
Let's see if we can hear it.
All right, so 11315281115.
Yeah, Mr. Grant, go ahead.
Good morning, yeah, man. Me, man. I'm lucky I get you right.
Yeah, lucky like that.
Remember what I'm sleeping this morning? You can't go up in Japan?
It's en route.
Yeah, morning Richard too. You see this thing going on with this police thing, right? This thing's so deep. Because there's not this thing going on, and people, as I've been saying all the time, we've been deceitful, and we just putting plaster on. So as the song get bigger, we put a big plaster. So going to get jail and all them people get shoot and all this kind of things. Nobody really thinking, really talk. And I am saying, it's not there, really start to hang people here. And then the judiciary have to pull up on itself. And look, as what I'm saying, I say, case taking 20 years. Because some certain people case pending just because they had the money, because thing is, I served Jewish service about 4 times, and I was so frustrated. I come like I was the first now. I had to reach the paper club before we will call. And if I reach late, they want to lock me up. Anyhow, and then you come again.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
yeah, thanks, Mr. Grant. All right, so let's go for the news. Let's not push the news too late, and when we come back, we will continue that conversation with you all about the textbooks and all the other stories that have been gaining a whole lot of legs overnight. Right, so the morning poll question is up. Do you support the government's introduction of AI-assisted digital textbooks for students? You're voting 1 if you're voting yes, and 2 if you are voting no. All right, I see you on the other side of the break.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Thursday, 23rd of April on New Era, TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Good day, everybody. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar says there will be no cabinet reshuffle at this time, dismissing speculation as her government approaches 1 year in office. Speaking after a sod-turning ceremony in San Fernando, she said while much has been achieved, there is still more work to be done and many promises to keep. She pointed to a reported decline in crime, stating murders are down by 42% and serious crime by 30%, but stressed she is not satisfied and expects further improvement. The Prime Minister said the government's approach focuses on an anti-crime plan, with measures including the state of emergency, increased police presence in schools, recruitment of more officers, and additional resources for law enforcement. She also confirmed that work is ongoing to reform firearms legislation, with research being conducted into models used in other Commonwealth countries. Police investigations into the killing of municipal officer Anuska Eversley have widened, with sources alleging possible internal corruption within the municipal police service. Investigators are probing claims that station records may have been falsified to conceal missing firearms, and that Eversley may have been linked to the illegal sale of weapons. Sources further allege the killing may have stemmed from a dispute over the scale of the theft operation, though this has not been officially confirmed. Police say several suspects remain in custody, and more arrests are expected as enquiries continue. In a related development, head of the Municipal Police Service, Surendra Sagram Singh, has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Authorities have so far recovered more than 40 firearms and hundreds of rounds of ammunition believed to have been stolen from the station. Education Minister Michael Dowlath has announced the launch of 2 AI-assisted digital textbooks for Form 1 students. The subjects, mathematics and language arts, are now available on government-issued laptops, with 4 more to be introduced before the new academic year. The minister says the initiative could save parents up to $1,500 on textbooks and help reduce heavy school bags. He added that the digital books work offline and include interactive features such as AI support to help students with lessons at home. Dowleth said the program is part of a broader plan to modernize the education system and expand digital access in schools. 10 people have been arrested and 25 reports cleared during a multi-regional anti-crime exercise by the Special Victims Department of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, targeting offenses against children and vulnerable persons. The operation, dubbed Operation Beacon, was carried out across several policing divisions following extensive investigations. In the north, 4 men were held, with 2 later charged with offenses including sexual penetration, sexual touching, and assault occasioning actual bodily harm. In Central Division, a 32-year-old man was charged with sexual communication and inciting a child to engage in sexual activity. In the South, 3 men were arrested and charged with similar offenses involving children. 2 additional men were also charged in the Eastern Division. Police are urging the public to report any suspected abuse involving children or vulnerable persons as investigations continue. The U.S. Southern Command has launched a new autonomous warfare command to strengthen regional security and combat organized crime. Commander Francis L. Donovan said the unit will use advanced technologies, including unmanned systems and artificial intelligence, to target narco-trafficking networks and support disaster response. The move comes as Trinidad and Tobago joins a U.S.-led anti-cartel coalition aimed at disrupting criminal activity across the region. Officials say the initiative could enhance intelligence sharing and security operations as countries face rising crime and prepare for the upcoming hurricane season. In international news, workers in southern China say they are struggling to cope as economic pressures mount amid global tensions. In manufacturing hubs like Foshan and Guangzhou, laborers say wages remain low, while job opportunities become more uncertain, with some earning just a few dollars an hour. The challenges come as China's economy faces slower growth, rising costs, and reduced demand, worsened by ongoing conflict in the Middle East, affecting global trade and oil prices. Traders say production costs have increased significantly, leading to fewer orders and tighter profit margins. Despite this, China continues to push forward in advanced manufacturing and exports, particularly in sectors like electric vehicles, even as traditional industries face growing strain. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Vibes, fresh energy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
Come on, can't stop me. Where we go? Can't stop me. Can't stop me. Back up your thing. Going with people fed. Me girl call her ask if I leave home. Well, I tell she a real close. Girl I almost did. All inclusive fed. Yeah, tonight go her real vibes. This crowd here go be real nice. Can't find me ticket. I done by the door. Realize I have to pay more.
Head back than a real high.
Me girl call her knocks if I leave home. Well, I tell she a real close. Girl, I almost there. All inclusive fete. Yeah, tonight go her real vibes. This crowd here go be real nice. Can't find me ticket. I done by the door. Realize I had to pay more. I have to get in because this fete not missing me. It's not missing me. I want to go big people party. Make the music take over me. I wanna jump up all day, all day. I wanna wind up all day, all day. I want big people party. I liquor up inside me. I wanna jump up all day, all day. I wanna wind up all day. Head back down a real high and a real tight. That's not the old. That's not the old. Man a real high and a real vibe. That's not the old. That's not the old. Come on, yeah, stop me. Where we go? Yeah, stop me. Yeah, stop me. Back up the thing. Going big people fed. Me girl call her knocks if I leave home. Well, I tell she a real close. Girl, I almost there. All inclusive fed. Yeah, tonight go her real vibes. This crowd here go be real nice. Can't find me ticket. I done by the door. Realize I had to pay more. I have to get in because this fete not missing me. It's not missing me. I want to go big people party. Make the music take over me. I wanna jump up all day, all day. I wanna wind up all day, all day. I want big people party. I liquor up inside me. I wanna jump up all day, all day. I wanna wind up all day. Head back down a real high and a real tight. Can't stop me, oh. You can't stop me, oh. Man a real high and a real vibe. Can't stop me, oh. You can't stop me, oh. Start the wine, girl, come and hold me. Like pressure on chain, we go break with. Need company, girl, I come in. Keep that bumper rolling. Bring thing I say, girl, give me harder. Slow it right down now, give me faster. Be whining, be chipping, make room. Give me a little excuse. I was by the door. Yes, I have to pay more. But now I get in.
Mornings just got down. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Back up the thing. Going big people fed. Me girl call her knock.
All right, people, so we welcome you back. And of course, it's good to have you inside the second hour of the breakfast show. Of course, you are listening to NETT Radio, New Era TT Radio, and the breakfast show. Richard Ragubaru saying, Wendell Stephen, just really say Charles, and of course, we do apologize. Wendell is in transit today. Hopefully, by tomorrow, he might get over the jet lag and join us. But we are here with you, and of course, let me say good morning to all our early risers, the Anthem crew. Good morning to you guys and ladies. Good morning to the folks who are listening to us on Gaia Caribbean TV, and all the people on our social media pages, Facebook and YouTube, especially at this point in time. We thank you very much for being with us here, right? Alright, so just to let you know, yeah. That when we come off of the feed this morning on Gaia Caribbean TV, you can continue to listen to us on netradiott.com. And of course, if you're on all of your different feeds and streams like TuneIn, MyTuner, you're getting us on NETT Radio Trinidad. That's NETT Radio Trinidad. And you can listen to us, right? Of course, coming up after 8 o'clock, we also have the rebroadcast of the MSG's Tuesday Talk. You know, we carry that for you here. So that will come to your way somewhere around 8:20 to 9 in that area there, right? Take a look out for it. And you can continue to vote on our poll. We're asking you this morning, do you support the government's introduction of AI-assisted digital textbooks for students, right? If you're in favor, you vote in 1, which will mean yes. If you're not, you vote in 2, which will mean no. And of course, remember, we're doing it across multiple platforms. So those of you on our stream chat, also taking your votes on the WhatsApp and also on our WhatsApp channel. For those of you who have joined the WhatsApp channel, you can vote there also. So number of ways for you to vote. And when we come back, we'll tell you how you voted.
Scandal in Citrus heads back to Cipriani College. You heard right. The scandal is back at Cipriani College on Saturday the 25th of April at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 26th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Box office at Cipriani College opens on Monday 20th of April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. People can't get enough of Scandal in Citrus. Cipriani College, we coming back.
Scandal in Citrus.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2, Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Central Bank Auditorium. The ridiculously funny comedy Two Fat Fellas is coming April 25th and 26th.
2 nights only.
Two Fat Fellas stars Cecilia, Penny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rody.
Tickets available at Dorman Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, Ecology Mokorampo Road, A Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, and the Falls at Westmore. And islandetickets.com. Central Bank box office opens Thursday the 23rd of April. For more info, call or text 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Two Fat Fellas, Central Bank, 25th and 26th of April. 2 nights only.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Okay, so we are back here.
Yeah, I'm here, but I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I gotta go back.
Oh, sure. So, hold on. Let's see if I can fix that. Hold on.
Back at me. Yeah, that seems to have been resolved. Yeah, so Charles?
Yeah, I'm here with you, Richard.
All right, yeah. What I'm saying is I can't really help you with the poll results, but I suppose you could manage it. And of course you could just give the percentile too.
I know when to do that, but that's basically, I would not be able to go through all of your votes yes, no as an individual, right? So I kind of Right. So on our stream, on the TV stream where you all are watching us now, we have like 79% of you saying no, that you don't support it, and 21% saying yes. And on our WhatsApp, it's a kind of a flip. We have 80% saying yes on the WhatsApp, and 20% saying no on the WhatsApp. Complete flip. So
yeah, I'm not so sure what. No, let me contextualize my answer a little bit. I am not so sure what they mean by AI-assisted digital textbooks, but I am in complete support of digital textbooks, because this issue of parents having to get bookless and buy books every September and being traumatized with how much the book's going to cost, etc., etc. I think we need to move to a system where you either have tablets or laptops, and your books are on the laptops or tablets, so that children don't have to be toting around mini suitcases on rollers to get to school because the books are so goddamn heavy and it's so many of them. So I'm in total support of digital textbooks, and that the digital textbooks, to me, are the way. The use of digital textbook is the way to go, in my opinion, and because it removes that issue of parents having to study book lists, because the books will be assigned to your respective device as you move into your new school year, and the only thing they may have to buy would be the basic stationery supplies. That's where I think we need to head. The AI-assisted part of it, I'm not so sure what that means in terms of an AI-assisted textbook. I mean, I could kind of understand what it means, but I'm not so sure in what context and how they're utilizing it. But certainly the digital textbook, I think that is where we need to go.
Yeah, I myself, I think we definitely need to go there for a number of reasons. Besides the fact that if it's going to save people money, where you always hear this whole thing about we never have enough money and to buy books and the strain, I am all for that. I think if we go more digital, it will ease up this heavy book bag that we talk about all the time, where students have to be with all of these books. And one of the major things to me which is because, assistance with some students who may be facing certain challenges, there are certain apps now that can help them in reading and understanding some of those things that some teachers are not able to really communicate to them properly. So persons who are visually impaired or who have autism and have all different kinds of things, that just might be a good way with some of these apps, these learning tools that can help assist some of those children in the classroom. So I see it as a major positive, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully we will get to that point. It's something I've been talking to in our in our previous iteration of this program. I've spoken to several ministers of education concerning where I thinking the education system needs to go, but they've always been very. What is the best way? How is the best way to put it, boy? They haven't been very forward thinking. That's the best way I could put it, in my opinion, in terms of moving the curriculum forward in a particular way and the infrastructure of how we do education in a particular way. And I always go back to the fact that there was a time where the English Minister of Education from the UK was going to China and Singapore and all of those countries to see what they were doing, because the UK was falling behind in terms of how they were doing education and stuff, and they went and they learned what the Chinese and the Japanese and the Singaporeans were doing. And I remember saying, well, why aren't we investigating more about what the rest of the world is doing? Because our citizens have to be world competitive as the world becomes more and more digital.
Yeah, you're so right.
It's not just about, you are now going to be, we are moving to an era of global work and global citizenship. And we need to equip our citizens to be able to earn income in that new world. We can't be left behind.
And I think that is the thing that some people are not recognizing, that is where the world is heading, and you have to create things and be equipped to live in that world that is ahead. So there's no getting away from it. People have been doing some kind of calculations here to manage the pool, right? And with the overwhelming support that we had on the WhatsApp, and the 26% yes on the stream. So I took that and I add that and I'm divided by 2, and I came up with 52% saying yes and 48% saying no. All right, so that was the results of the poll. It's kind of close.
So that's the final results, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know. Dirk Barnes has agreed to join us around 7:25 a.m. Sir Charles. I don't know if you got my message. But he has agreed to talk to us. I don't know if he's in backstage yet. With regard to the whole issue of armory and the methodology of how you deal with armories and arms and ammunition and how something like that could have happened and what they would need to put in place, because of course he's an expert in that field.
Oh yes.
So he has agreed to talk to us around 7:25 a.m. I sent him a link. I hope it's a correct link.
Yes, he is here. No, I'm now seeing it. I think he said it because I'm so concentrated on the other areas. People really don't realize how much work this thing is. But you know what? We are doing it. So let's get into our Let's Talk segment. All right.
So good morning, Dirk, and thanks for joining us on the breakfast show this morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Sir Charles, Richard, and all of Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning. Now, while I haven't been with you guys.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us on such short notice too. I should further add that. You know, Dirk. I mean, of course, you are an expert in this field of security and also about arms and ammunition and armories and stuff like that. How surprised were you, or how surprised are you about what happened in the San Fernando Municipal Police Station, where the incident and all of the arms and ammunition was removed, and of course the backstory that seems to be coming out now. But how surprised were you about that?
Well, I was completely surprised. This one, I never thought we would see the day that this happened, even though, guys, back in 2022, on I think it was a show with you guys as well, 2021, 2022, just around COVID time, I did mention that it is not far-fetched for a police station to be attacked, and I will come to that shortly. But why I was surprised about this is because there have been a lot of developments over the past, as a couple commissioners, that in my opinion, that this was something that should not have happened, because this is not a matter of just a breach or a plan to steal weapons, but it comes down to accountability, because we are understanding now that figure of 68 weapons, the first thing we heard was about 50 weapons, then it went to 68, then the media was reporting it's more than 100. And that suggests to me that they're not entirely sure exactly what was inside that armory. And that is something that would completely surprise me, because I don't know if you guys know this, but during Ulla Christopher's time as commissioner, she had mandated, at least from the point of the civilian armories, and I say civilian because remember you have security companies and firearm dealerships, 2 entities to which I own, that the police officers audit us every single month. And it was something that I welcomed because I had nothing to hide. But the whole idea about it is that you get another set of eyes on what it is you're supposed to have and the procedures specifically to make sure that those procedures are being adhered to in terms of weapons in and weapons out. And we got visited by officers constantly, and those reports were sent up to the commissioner. And I was really glad to see that the commissioner was taking accountability of weapons that were outside of the TTPS's army. And I would have assumed that entities like the state-owned entities, because I'm sure you know that Airports Authority and MTS and WASA, all of these places, they carry firearms as well. So those entities would have been audited in addition to the TTMPS. So whatever it is would have been stored in San Fernando should have been properly accounted for. Now the question would be, were they part of that mandate at that point in time? And how often were inspections done by the head of the TTMPS? And a lot of people are saying, no, don't call for his head and all this kind of things. But if it comes down to, he didn't conduct one inspection of his arms and ammunition, then yeah, he should be replaced.
You know what is incredulous about all of this for lay people like myself, Dirk, is that, as you said, it's state machinery, and I mean, you raised an important point. There are other state agencies that are armed, and my mind didn't go all there. I just went to municipal police stations and national police stations. But all of these other institutions that you just mentioned will also have armories of some sort where those firearms are kept. What level of robustness in terms of audit and scrutiny is taking place across Trinidad and Tobago and all of those armories? Because this one, which is a municipal police station, and from the reports in the media this morning, small amounts were being siphoned off and being sold, and papers were being falsified to cover it up, and nobody noticed. Well, apparently nobody noticed, and we don't know for how long it had been going on. And these are the same firearms and ammunition that come back to hurt everyday citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. So how concerned should we be that all of these state armories, I'm not even getting to private yet, these state armories are under proper control?
Well, I would be really concerned. Now, let me tell you something. I joined the military just around 33 years ago. Now, having retired, I can tell this particular story that even before I set foot into an army barracks, my father said something to me, and he was military as well. He said there are three things you don't mess with. Number one is accounts, and the other two is arms and ammunition, and the accountability I've seen. And throughout my army career and throughout the career of nearly every single officer and warrant officer or soldier for that matter, you always account for arms and ammunition. And you guys would have recalled recently, I think last year, year before, there was a big problem with Army not being able to account for, I think, 1,000 rounds or 4,000 rounds or something like that. And everybody wanted to get the head of the chief of defense staff and all these different things. But it was these military systems during an inspection that discovered that the ammunition was missing. Again, I'm back to that word inspection. So the inspection process is a key process in accountability of arms and ammunition. And if you fail to conduct inspections, especially regularly and routine inspections, things like weapons being siphoned and stuff could happen. That's the point I'm getting to. And as it comes across to the civilian type state-owned agencies that carry firearms, now in some cases those firearms will be kept and lodged in a police station. In other cases, those arms and ammunition are going to be kept on the location because they have approvals to do so. Now, it is not just the agencies like MTS, you also have places like SSA. Remember, prisons as well have arms and ammunition. So the arms and ammunition processes, and this is where fear should not run through rampant in Trinidad and Tobago. The process of accountability for arms and ammunition is a robust one. But when you relax that, which is in the minority in terms of agencies, when you relax that, that is where problems can happen. But to make sure that those things are not relaxed, inspections are supposed to be done. Now, the Commissioner of Police of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Commissioner of Police has all control over arms and ammunition in Trinidad and Tobago through the Firearms Act. So regardless of which agency, with the exception of I think the Defense Force, Forensics, Prisons, Customs, I keep forgetting Customs. And even then too, he does look at accountability on that side. But all of the other agencies, the Commissioner of Police is the ones who issues and give direction on how those things are supposed to be stored, in what facilities are supposed to be stored. And another thing that people don't know, with the state-owned agencies and private agencies for that matter, the Commissioner of Police is also responsible for the armories and approving the armories where those arms and ammunition are stored. So all of these things, the security parts of it and the procedures that come with it, falls under the remit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Commissioner of Police. Not that he's responsible if something goes wrong, but he does ensure that there are checks and balances in place before people can get the approval to store weapons inside of those in those facilities.
But I mean, which is something that we would have discussed yesterday, that probably it's the good to come out of this is that there would be much more scrutiny now, hopefully, in all of those agencies that have armories, in terms of the audit of what they have and how it's managed. Do you expect that to happen, or you think it? And I know you talk about the issue of relaxing, and that's where the problem happens.
Well, if you think about it, the systems of the first, I want to jump to the admiration I have for the civilian sector, because when you look at the civilian sector and their storage of arms and ammunition, the persons who are responsible for storing that are the business owners, the people who actually paid for those weapons. And those weapons and ammunition, they have a financial responsibility, not just the accountability of it, but it's their assets. And most business owners, or good business owners, will always secure their own assets because they don't want to have to pay for it again. So you'll find that the systems that you will see in the private sector is going to be robust. The challenge really comes, and I'm saying this because I operate in the public sector as well. And the challenge comes when you have somebody who's a public servant, did not have to pay for those weapons and don't understand that those weapons carry a cost. So they think that an inspection is something that, in some cases, an inspection is a burden, but it is a necessity. So the process comes back to, or the accountability comes back to every level, from the commissioner, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the heads of those public agencies, their wards that are supposed to be looking at those securing those weapons, at each level having the responsibility to inspect the documents and or the weapons that are being stored. So the process exists. So the relaxation that we're talking about here now is because people are getting complacent, and this can't happen. Now, I want to come back to a point I was going to raise again, but I gave this prediction. Back in 2021, 2022, I was on this same show with you guys, and I mentioned something that happened with me in the middle of a stolen vehicle recovery in the Santa Cruz area. We went to a police station. This is not TTMPS now, TTPS. And there was one female WPC in that station at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, if I recall. And I spoke about it then. I sent a message to Mr. McDonald Jacob at the point in time and said, sir, this is what happened here. He never responded. But this is something that has already happened in a police station. And this was because at that point in time, they were low in manpower. Now, I don't know if that continues within the police service. But for something like that to happen back then, it was only a matter of time until somebody decided that police station was going to be a vulnerable place to attack. Now we're seeing this happening in the TTMPS, even though it's not a similar type of circumstance. But we have to start to look at these gaps in our national security infrastructure. We have to start to look at the gaps in the processes and start to close those gaps. And we should not be afraid. We should not be concerned if it is we decide to be more robust in terms of the inspections. And I would really welcome the commissioner following with what Mr. Christopher was doing and getting these inspections happening more regularly with all entities in Trinidad and Tobago, because securing firearms is a responsibility of all of the people who are involved in the process of issuance of those firearms.
The interest about all of this, where I am looking at it, just as a civilian outside here, looking at where the technology is from where it was, and some of these things that seem to be like recurring all the time. How serious does that send a message to those who are in charge that they are doing the right thing, or if Trinidad and Tobago, if people are looking at us from the outside, are we serious about dealing with this crime situation that we have?
Now we're moving into another conversation here, because now you're talking about crime operations and stuff like that. But I would want to say that any responsible government is going to be serious about reducing crime. The only caveat to that would be is if the government themselves are involved in the crime or involved in criminality. And I have no evidence for or against. So commenting on that second point is something that I really and truly cannot qualify. But I have seen certain things happening right now with both the Commissioner of Police, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Minister of Homeland Security, and the Minister of Security. And I've seen Minister of Defense, sorry, what I was trying to remember. Yeah, and I've seen that they have taken certain positions and certain initiatives that will only have a positive effect in reducing the crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago. It may not be what everybody is looking for in a short term, but you also have to remember that fighting crime is not something that happens overnight, or reducing crime doesn't happen overnight. It's all about consistency. It's all about reviews, getting that feedback loop, coming up with new operational directives, and then coming out with a new plan. So it's a lot of operational planning and review. So it is going to happen over a period of time. Now, I'm not saying that this government is different to the last one, and I'm not saying the last one failed as well. I'm not calling failure, because if you did not have some of the initiatives in the last administration and you did not have any in this administration, I could tell you crime would be much, much worse.
Are you confident that they will recover all of the arms?
Confident with what? That they have been recovered? I'm not sure the question.
No, are you confident that the state has the capacity to recover the arms that were stolen?
Yes, I am confident over time. I am very, very confident. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is a premier agency. Their investigative capacity is extremely, extremely professional. I'm not a police officer myself, so anyone who's listening, don't feel as though I am trying to give kudos to an agency I was part of. But having observed how they operate, even now, and the officers who I know are, and the training that those officers have, and the officers I know in investigations, I am confident that they're going to recover those firearms. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be next month, but they will get all back. The real thing is here is that Trinidad and Tobago, we need to start to pray, because this is, I heard Ulla Christopher say this some years ago and we mocked her, but we really and truly need to get back to, we as a country, we are causing our own problems. We like to come and blame commissioners and ministers and stuff for crime. They're not the criminals. The one person that doesn't get blamed for crime in this country is the criminal themselves. We have to start to realize that the 1.5 or 1.4 million of us, as the commissioner says, and I completely agree, we are being, what's what I'm looking for, threatened by 500 plus people, a small part of the country, a small part of the population. That is who terrorizing all of us. And what we really need to do is to start to get back to our spiritual spaces and start to realize, no, we are much stronger than that. Our strength comes from God. Let me face facts. And once we start to look at getting back that internal strength and not having that fear of these 500 miscreants, we could basically take back over our country and assist the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in their crime fight. But we give up. We want to find somebody to blame, and we blame the authorities, not the criminals.
Yeah, but I think why is like that, because we seem to be fighting something different today, and you are dealing with a criminal element that seems to be much more barbaric than those of the past, and so obviously, the average citizen who does not have the capabilities to defend himself, we depend on the state. And if the state seems to be the strong man, well, of course, they get our total support. But if the criminal element seems to be the strong man, we not only support the criminal element, but people will see and not see.
Well, you see, the thing is, we're back to the same issue. We are the majority. We are the stronger entity. The gun itself is not what we're supposed to fear. You know? We're supposed to fear the person who's trying to use that particular firearm. But most of us, we don't report the things that we see. We think it's none of our business. So today you see, you have a cousin or a friend or somebody who driving a Ferrari, but he's a customs officer. Nobody reports that. Nobody says, something seems strange here. Nobody reports, when they see the police officer running an entire block. Nobody says anything. Nobody shows up before the PCA. Well, I'm not saying nobody. But the few of us, we decide to throw a blind eye. This is where the process starts. One point, you cannot convince me, and you cannot convince any logical thinker that 1.4 million people could be blind to the things that are happening in their neighborhoods and blind to what the 500 people are doing and their identities, and it's not reaching the authorities. So I completely endorse what Minister Alexander is trying to say. Give the information to the police. The more information that the police have that could cause investigations to turn into evidence, we could start to reduce that number of 500 down to 1 or 0. And imagine the day when we have criminals all behind bars or all before the courts and all getting incarcerated. We could be a safer Trinidad and Tobago, but it begins with us, the 1.4 million of us.
Do you have confidence in the current Commissioner of Police? Do you think he's a good fit?
I have confidence that anyone appointed into that position would have gone through the process, the proper process.
That's a very diplomatic answer.
In the time that they're being in the position. They see asking me that question, and it's a question where I don't want to come and say yes, I have complete confidence. At the same time, I don't want to belittle and say no, I don't have confidence. I have met the man once. I have spoken with the man once. I've seen things that he is doing in the national community, and those things are the things that I would have done if I was a commissioner as well. But to say that I have confidence is to say that I know the man, and I can't give that qualification just like that.
The Minister of Defense, Wayne Sturge, recently articulated that he felt, I'm paraphrasing, but that more householders, homeowners should have firearms. Are you in agreement with that?
No, I'm not. I'll say that now. And I think the minister might have spoken a bit out of context. He should have given some more depth, because the gentleman who got killed recently up in Granby, he was not just a homeowner, he was a person who had who built homes for other people. And if I'm not mistaken, that same gentleman ended up on a PDO. So is it that the minister is suggesting that same gentleman should have qualified for a firearm at a point in time? I'm sure he will retract his words if it is recall that particular name. Now, I'm just saying this because at the end of the day, folks, owning a firearm is a responsibility. It's a very strange and special responsibility. The amount of things you have to do change in your life. Not everybody is ready to do that. And we can't suggest that because you own a piece of property, that should send you to the front of the line.
Yeah. And I know you would have said that, and it was I don't know, a little bit controversial. I mean, people weighed in on it. But certainly this current administration is very much pro the US style. Well, I don't want to say the exact US style, but certainly freeing up the system, at least from what they have articulated with regard to firearm access. So I don't know if you think that's a good thing, or you think it really needs to have strict criteria to who gets a firearm.
Well, interestingly enough, last year around August, and you guys can look it up and you'll see, I sat with the Trinidad and Tobago Firearms and Range Operators Association, and we looked at how the system was actually working out, and we gave a paper. We presented a paper to the Minister of Homeland Security, And in that paper, we outlined the gaps that existed in the current process and how the process could have been revised to improve the investigation capacity as well as the selection and adherence to the criteria. Now, the challenge in Trinidad and Tobago is that the Commissioner of Police, as a different one comes in, they have a different criteria or they put a different spin on it, because as far as they're concerned, they have full discretion. So one commissioner could come and say, if it is you belong to this demographic unit, you get automatically get a firearm. Another one could come and say, if you have a threat on your life, you get one. And the courts have recently adjudicated over a matter like that, and have been saying, hey, this is not what your discretion should be. Revise that. Now, I wouldn't want to comment on legal things on air, but there seem to be some kind of difference of opinion between what really should be happening and justified legal opinion. What should be happening as justified legal opinion and what is actually happening from a commissioner's perspective. So as we go forward, I want to hope that the Minister of Homeland Security and the Minister of Defense and the Prime Minister and National Security Council would really look at the different inputs that are coming to them from the legal fraternity, from the firearm dealers, from current owners, rangers, everybody, and take that information and come up with the best solution for Trinidad and Tobago. I do not subscribe to handing out firearms to everybody just because you carry a Trinidad and Tobago ID or you were born in Trinidad and Tobago. I do not subscribe to that at all. I believe that there should be constant evaluation of applicants, and not only that, re-evaluation, not just of the applicants' psychology or whatever you want to call it, but also the competent to carry one. And then you also have to look at responsibility, because as we see here, just from this situation that took place in San Fernando, responsibility and accountability for firearms or a firearm is of paramount importance once you're given the approval for that particular firearm or firearms.
Dirk, are we taking too long to get past these issues in Trinidad and Tobago? Because how long we've been talking these things, and it seems that we just can't get past, who should have a firearm, what kind of process it should be, things that are we trying to reinvent the wheel? How do other spaces that have it and it's working well? Are there models outside there that we could adopt, and what has taken us so long?
It's just political will. And I don't think we have to adopt a model outside there, because Trinidad and Tobago has a unique set of risks. We are geographically located in a beautiful spot for transshipment. Our scenario of having high crime, arms and ammunition, money laundering, it's unique to us. And one of the things that we should sort of focus on is using the people who are here, who understand the national security landscape and the threats of our national security landscape, and create the operational responses to that landscape. We always like this thing that we have to import intellectual property. We have to import a solution. The solutions can be made right here. We have presented a paper to the Minister of Homeland Security. That paper came inside of there. You had range operators, you had police officers, you had people from the defense force, you had lawyers, you had all sorts of people in that simple demographic who would have contributed to that paper and said, hey, these are the issues that have existed over the years. I haven't heard anything about that paper since then, but when that paper went live, you know what everybody focused on? One part of it that spoke about giving firearms to people at 18 and above. And it was so weird that morning, that was all the media went on. Media sensationalized that one line. And if it is they had looked into it, that was for sport. That was for people who are representing the country abroad in Olympics at the age of 18. And when you start an Olympic shooter, all right, you start an Olympic shooter at the age of 11 and 12. And what is interesting, the people didn't even read the whole paper to realize that is done through the cadet force, which already exposes weapons to youths. So the problem in Trinidad and Tobago is not just that we don't have laws and it's a police problem and it's all kind of, it's a societal problem, and it needs the political will to change a societal problem. That these things could be explained in consultation so that the country itself understands what are the benefits and what are the safeguards involved in firearm issuance. So this is where the issue comes from. Once you have that kind of consultation, and it has to happen at a national level, where people are, just as they did the home invasion bill, right? How they had public consultation, they have to do something like that for firearm ownership, so everybody could be aware, because it's a national issue.
Do you think the present, the way that, you know, with the police commissioner being the only one who's able to say, look, who should have, it is a process right now that is overwhelming the administration to get it done. Do you think there should be something else that should be put in place?
Yes, and I've said this repeatedly over the past few years. Yes, yes, and yes. Maybe not for the reasons why the rest of the country may think, but I like to raise this particular point. Having been an applicant and in this particular process, I have seen, and I've gone through this process a number of times because I have several FULs for the different businesses that I have. And having been an applicant each time, I have seen where a police sergeant comes to me to investigate me. He investigates me, he asks me, talks to my wife, he looks at my business and all these different things. He goes back, writes a report, and he's done. Now, guess what? If it is I was on customs radar, right, that police sergeant doesn't know. If I was on FIU radar, he does not know. If the army was investigating me with army intelligence for terrorism or something like that, that police sergeant does not know. The problem is that that investigation is very much subjective and does not include all of the inputs coming from the rest of the national security intelligence infrastructure. And that is the issue that I had. And in the paper that we handed to the minister last year, we brought that to his attention. And we said that there should be a board, and that board should consist of those agencies which I just spoke of, to include the SSA, that everybody gets an opportunity to say this particular applicant is greenlit to move on in the process. Not one police sergeant and a division superintendent and the commissioner. That is just an outdated system. So I believe that there should also be other agencies inside of there that are part of the process. Create a secretariat or something like that, create a new entity, and let it be the commissioner could be the head of it, but let it be that the other agencies also have a vote as to who gets and who does not get. It does not provide more red tape. The system that we provided in terms of our paper would have streamlined the process. It would have basically brought a faster process to denial, and this is what people are really waiting for sometimes, just to know, well, I'm not going to get you, so let me drop it. But a faster process to denial or process to approval. That is what this process would have brought.
All right. Just as before we go, Doug, I just want to find out, going back to this whole situation with the municipal police station, the always seeing, ammunition with the police markings and all those things like that. Do you think that, we should be at this stage be able to identify these things quicker? Where they are coming from, if that is the case. So if a spent shell comes up with X marking, we should know exactly where that comes from.
That one is it's a bit harder, because when you're talking about that level of forensics, you have to remember that ammunition specifically passes through several hands at several different times. It's not supposed to, but ammunition can pass through a firearms dealer, all right? It is not supposed to, and I'm talking about for national security ammunition. What tends to happen is that even though a firearms dealer would have been the person who imported and stuff like that, normally it's picked up in customs by the particular agency. I don't know if it was different, at least I know it from my agency point of view, this is how it would be done. I don't know about other agencies. And even then too, what happens when an officer goes on the range and he has to go and shoot and there's no accountability on the range? Or what happens if it is a box cut left behind that nobody saw? So there's so many different arms, there's so different hands that ammunition passes through. It's a bit difficult to start to trace back to who's at fault. What can happen, which should reduce the frequency of which we are seeing these ammunition showing up on crime scenes, is more frequent inspections of the ammunition. because then you'll be able to pick up the when, where, why, and who. And it will also provide a larger deterrent for anybody who might be trying to use or sell the ammunition that belongs to the states. So inspections is a way to stop that process.
But the legal ammunition that is coming into the country, doesn't it have to go to a particular space before it is distributed into the wider society? So if whether it be customs who is responsible for that all these ammunition coming in, they should be tagged, recorded, so we know exactly when, even if it goes through different hands, we should be able to say, okay, from here it went to John. If we see in that now, we could go to John, who bought this from you? And there should be some measure in place to track this thing.
All right, so let me go into that quickly, because I know you'll have to come off just shortly. Ammunition, let me use my case as an example. When I bring in ammunition, I'm bringing ammunition in bulk. It comes in on a pallet. We're talking about 10, 15, 20,000 rounds. That's just me. There are other firearm dealers that bring in 100,000 rounds, and they bring in containers and stuff like millions of rounds. When those rounds come in, nobody really goes inside there and count each round. They either count them by pallets, they count them by containers, because that is how they're going to be manifested when they come into the country. Customs is not going to keep those things in customs. In fact, customs mandate and customs operations to get that ammunition out of there as quickly as possible for storage issues, because that's to go where it'll be properly stored, in the bunker where it'll be properly stored. Now remember, you have several firearm dealers bringing in ammunition for various reasons, and it's not just ammunition, but ammunition and explosives, because explosives are used for quarrying and all these different things as well. When that ammunition leaves there, it leaves there under police escort to that firearm dealer, and then there's a process where things are signed off, and that is just one type of import. When you have import coming in for national security, they are supposed to pick up their ammunition and go straight to their armories. Again, even if it's defense force, they're escorted by police. Police would normally do the sign off, because I said before, the Commissioner of Police has ultimate responsibility for arms and ammunition, and the accountability and import, because the import permit comes from the Commissioner of Police. So when I tell you that there can be gaps, there are not gaps that you can trace a wrong and say this wrong came from you, because, well, stop a second.
One more thing before we go on that, because we are all the time. When they come from the manufacturer and they come in these crates and they come in these boxes, and then it reaches by you and you pull out a single bullet or whatever is the case, the person, the manufacturer, is there a number or anything like that?
The weapons, the ammunition themselves are stamped, but not each ammunition has a serial number, no. So I have to account for who I sold to or what I consumed as a trainer or as a dealer. I have to account for that. And when these inspections come every month from the police service, they pick up on my consumption and check my records to make sure they are aligned.
All right, okay. We could continue this conversation another time, because there are so many other areas that we can go with.
Yeah. And you're so knowledgeable about it, Dirk. So thanks so much for sharing your expertise with us this morning.
No problem. You guys have a great day.
All right, so that was Dirk Barnes, and of course, 8 o'clock news is next.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Thursday, 23rd of April on New Era, TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Gael Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Good day, everybody. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar says there will be no cabinet reshuffle at this time, dismissing speculation as her government approaches 1 year in office. Speaking after a sod-turning ceremony in San Fernando, she said while much has been achieved, there is still more work to be done and many promises to keep. She pointed to a reported decline in crime, stating murders are down by 42% and serious crime by 30%, but stressed she is not satisfied and expects further improvement. The Prime Minister said the government's approach focuses on an anti-crime plan, with measures including the state of emergency, increased police presence in schools, recruitment of more officers, and additional resources for law enforcement. She also confirmed that work is ongoing to reform firearms legislation, with research being conducted into models used in other Commonwealth countries. Police investigations into the killing of municipal officer Anuska Eversley have widened, with sources alleging possible internal corruption within the municipal police service. Investigators are probing claims that station records may have been falsified to conceal missing firearms, and that Eversley may have been linked to the illegal sale of weapons. Sources further allege the killing may have stemmed from a dispute over the scale of the theft operation, though this has not been officially confirmed. Police say several suspects remain in custody, and more arrests are expected as enquiries continue. In a related development, head of the Municipal Police Service, Surendra Sagram Singh, has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Authorities have so far recovered more than 40 firearms and hundreds of rounds of ammunition believed to have been stolen from the station. Education Minister Michael Dowlath has announced the launch of 2 AI-assisted digital textbooks for Form 1 students. The subjects, mathematics and language arts, are now available on government-issued laptops, with 4 more to be introduced before the new academic year. The minister says the initiative could save parents up to $1,500 on textbooks and help reduce heavy school bags. He added that the digital books work offline and include interactive features such as AI support to help students with lessons at home. Dowlath said the program is part of a broader plan to modernize the education system and expand digital access in schools. 10 people have been arrested and 25 reports cleared during a multi-regional anti-crime exercise by the Special Victims Department of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, targeting offenses against children and vulnerable persons. The operation, dubbed Operation Beacon, was carried out across several policing divisions following extensive investigations. In the north, 4 men were held, with 2 later charged with offenses including sexual penetration, sexual touching, and assault occasioning actual bodily harm. In Central Division, a 32-year-old man was charged with sexual communication and inciting a child to engage in sexual activity. In the South, 3 men were arrested and charged with similar offenses involving children. 2 additional men were also charged in the Eastern Division. Police are urging the public to report any suspected abuse involving children or vulnerable persons as investigations continue. The U.S. Southern Command has launched a new autonomous warfare command to strengthen regional security and combat organized crime. Commander Francis L. Donovan said the unit will use advanced technologies, including unmanned systems and artificial intelligence, to target narco-trafficking networks and support disaster response. The move comes as Trinidad and Tobago joins a U.S.-led anti-cartel coalition aimed at disrupting criminal activity across the region. Officials say the initiative could enhance intelligence sharing and security operations as countries face rising crime and prepare for the upcoming hurricane season. In international news, workers in southern China say they are struggling to cope as economic pressures mount amid global tensions. In manufacturing hubs like Foshan and Guangzhou, laborers say wages remain low, while job opportunities become more uncertain, with some earning just a few dollars an hour. The challenges come as China's economy faces slower growth, rising costs, and reduced demand, worsened by ongoing conflict in the Middle East, affecting global trade and oil prices. Traders say production costs have increased significantly, leading to fewer orders and tighter profit margins. Despite this, China continues to push forward in advanced manufacturing and exports, particularly in sectors like electric vehicles, even as traditional industries face growing strain. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages.
call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rum Box. Drinking out of the box.
Central Bank Auditorium. The ridiculously funny comedy Two Fat Fellas is coming April 25th and 26th.
2 nights only.
Two Fat Fellas stars Cecilia, Penny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rody.
Tickets available at Dorman Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, Beachology Mokorampa Road, A Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, and the Falls at Westmore. And islandetickets.com. Central Bank box office opens Thursday the 23rd of April. For more info, call or text 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Two Fat Fellas, Central Bank, 25th and 26th of April. 2 nights only.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Scandal in Citrus heads back to Cipriani College. You heard right. The Scandal is back at Cipriani College on Saturday the 25th of April at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 26th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Box office at Cipriani College opens on Monday 20th of April, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. People can't get enough of Scandal in Citrus. Cipriani College, we coming back.
Scandal in Citrus.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the breakfast show. And of course, yes, you are listening to NETT Radio, the Era TT Radio, taking you above and beyond on this Thursday morning as we head into the weekend. And I do hope that whatever your plans are, you will be able to get through with it. All right. Richard has dropped off of the stream. You know, he's in transit these days, doing all manner of stuff. His place coming up this weekend, so I guess he's probably seen about that. Wendell himself is probably still traveling 13 hours. Whew. I don't know if I can sit on a plane for that long. But then when I'm on a plane, I like to sleep. So I don't know. From the time take off and we level off, I say, right, I go on and I sleep in. You know, I know some people say they cannot sleep on a plane, but trust me, I can sleep. Yeah. So hopefully that tomorrow also Wendell will be able to join us back on the inside. And of course, coming up in a little bit, we'll be talking with, well, not really talking, we have a rebroadcast of the MSG's Tuesday Talk. So the MSG is one of the groups, David Abdul and his team. They talk about a number of different issues on their platform on a Tuesday. And we carry that, you know, just to bring you a varied, wider cross-section of what the population is thinking and doing. All right, so you can look out for that coming up at around 8:30 this morning For those of you on our Gael stream, we welcome you people and thank you very much for being here. Also, remember, people, you can join our, just a little house cleaning I'm doing for you guys now, just to let you know that you could join our WhatsApp channel. When you join our WhatsApp channel, we are able to give you updates, things that are happening on the breakfast show and other parts of the platform. Once there's immediate and important things coming up, we will be able to share that, especially important groundbreaking news and stuff. As they come to hand, you can get that there. So all you have to do is, if you want to join our WhatsApp channel, we have some people who have already joined. Remember, my goal is for us to up that game as we get into the month of May. So if you would like to join the WhatsApp channel, guess what? Just send us a text to any one of our numbers, whether it's be the 299 number or the 281 number, and just text send link, and we will send you that link that you can join the WhatsApp channel. It's very simple. You just hit that link and you're basically in. You just have to accept after that. Put on your notification when you accept, so when the messages come, you will be notified that, hey, something is happening. Let me check that one time. All right. Also, to let you guys know that we are streaming on multiple platforms right now. So we want to spread the word of Net Radio as far as wide. And we know there are a number of platforms that people are streaming through. So besides our website at netradiott.com, you can now get us on those other platforms like TuneIn, Simple Radio, MyTuner, Online Radio Box, and Radio Garden. So all you have to put in the description, when in the search area, just put in Net Radio Trinidad, and of course we will come up. And for all of you that use your Google and smart devices commands, well, you can give it that command and you should be able to get us now. So there are a number of ways for you to get us, okay? Very interesting interview just now there with Mr. Barnes. And let me just put back up our number so you can call us. Right, so you can call us at 281-1315 so we can take a couple of your calls before we end out of here. Very interesting conversation, I said, Mr. Barnes. And in talking with him, I realized the difficulty in trying to track a single bullet. The amount of things that you will have to put in place, and I don't know if it will be worth the while in the sense that who's going to pick up the cost, because it may probably be a costly process, but I believe we have to do something to bring accountability to the amount of arms and ammunition in this country. But Dabadi, good morning to you.
So Charles, morning.
Morning to you, my dear.
So Charles, so that is why the police have so much, what to say. Well, let me don't say that, but the thing is, they can't give an account. So as it is accountability of bullets, to track bullets and so on, and how much was used and so on. That was a really interesting interview. And you remember this Monday when you all were talking about who has authority over the municipal police and so on.
Right.
But even though Mr. Barnes said just now, I mean the commissioners overall, but not directly, right? I'm still confused, who has that responsibility?
Yeah, I myself.
Because I was hearing that it moved from under the commissioner during the PNN and gone to a regional corporation. But I want to think that while the last government moved it to regional corporation because they were going to do the corporation you think they were going to bring up now, right? So they probably figure that municipal police would have been part, because I think I heard something like that, would have been part of the regular police now at one point with the the new system for regional corporation, and they will be responsible for a lot of things. So the police will no longer be called, would have been called municipal police, but like police, But that gone through now because that can happen again. That regional cooperation thing is happening again. Reform. That's what I'm looking for. So, as that thing still have more questions and answers to me, who is responsible? And I heard Ian Allen say yesterday's program, he does not understand why Mr. Sagam Singh had to be sent on leave. He was wondering why.
Well, I can understand why.
I was saying the same thing. Why? Because he was saying, well, okay, 4 people got killed over. Is he head of that division going to be sent on leave? So it's a lot of questions. More questions than answers.
Yeah.
And boy, we will never hear them hear how much will come. And we might come back alive, and the questions still outstanding.
Yeah, but thanks much.
Next I want to talk about, when I saw the news about the AI digital, so Charles, I voted against it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with this AI thing because where will we have critical thinkers now? A lot of people who don't like to read will just put on AI. So Charles, you won't believe I do like to hear AI reading. Huh? Whenever we put on anything to read and you say, let AI read it, so Charles, I say, oh my gosh. So people who school children especially going to rely on AI reading. I mean, I might read for everything, but then what about those who carry that toll? And how would they be thinking for themselves? You need critical thinkers, right? So, I mean, did you know thing segment you had this morning? Well, boy, if he could have get $1 million right now, that man would have been rich because everything he said there was true. But guess what? It doesn't apply to me because just like what you say in all these things there, that's what I don't do. So probably I want 1 in a million who wouldn't do what he said. So Charles, it is really, really, this technology, it's good, but yes, it's bad.
Yeah, well, and like everything else, and thanks very much, Labby. Like everything else, it's good and bad in everything. We have to be able to find a balance and to see if at the end of it all, if there's more good than bad that will come out of it. I'm not at that point where I can say it's going to be totally more good than bad, because as we are experimenting with a lot of things, but there are some things that I can see on the horizon that will be of a benefit. Captain Ron, good morning.
Morning to you, Sir Charles, and to everyone. And I hope when there should be able to pick up some Wi-Fi on the airplane or wherever that, if it's over the Pacific, you should be able to at least listen to us.
He should be able
to. I think, Sir Charles, I'd like to make a suggestion. I think you should seriously consider looking into the call waiting sequence machine. So when people call, it goes in, like how you had it on the other station. Understand? And see if we all can chip up and donate and get one. If you have time, I know you're very busy and stuff. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you should look into that. I want to say, with the police matter, I'm just waiting and watching because it's amazing where everything is just turned in a different direction according to Richard, right? So, I really wanted to comment on the all AI teaching.
Yeah.
Now, let me show you something. That has been around for so long. This is what all the airlines use for many years now. All right? It's like when you're going to flight school now, that's what they use. It's like an oral teaching. Also, it's a video teaching. It's like taking the instructor. You're taking the instructor or the teacher from wherever you are to school or home, back and forth. So it's not giving the answer. It's helping you reason more and showing you how to reason. And this is what we've been using for years. All those airlines that's coming in and out of Trinidad, all around the world, that's what they use for their ground school. And it's very helpful and handy. And it makes a clearer understanding of the subject that is teaching, that's being taught. So I think, and these kids nowadays, let me tell you something, you know this. These kids are very sharp with computers. But this is the way to go. You understand? This is the way to go. So, because people who may not agree with it is because they don't understand it. That's what I use in aviation. When I go renew my do my recurrence, that's what we still use. Plus, according to Richard, you carry all the manuals, all the books, everything with even on the iPad now, as you know, you don't even have to use a pen. You can use your finger.
Right.
So it's a step forward, progress, and I'm 1,000% behind that. Because I've been using it to fly airplanes. That's what we do in ground school. So it's not just something new now. It's new to the students, but it's been there for professionals. Doctors use it, lawyers use it, pilots use it. You name about it. I believe politicians,
right?
Business people use it as well. All right. Have a great day.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, Captain Ron. As I said, it is something that I'm sure there are downsides to it, but if you utilize it properly, you can get benefits. And especially when you're putting things in place, you look and see, the shortcuts in between there, and once you put things in place, I am sure it will not stop people and make them lazy, because let's look at it this way also. When they introduced calculators, that was the same thing they say, and people are still using their brains to add certain things and to get the formulas and stuff. Yes, AI will make certain things faster, but it doesn't really stop your learning, especially if how you use the resource. Good morning, caller. Robert.
Good morning. Morning, yeah.
Morning to you.
So Charles, morning to you on the breakfast group. I just want to touch a bit on the situation with the police.
Mm-hmm.
They said after the incident, they come here now and getting reports that she was involved. I'm saying that's just an allegation,
Yes, it is.
The easiest thing to make against someone is an allegation, and then the hardest thing to disprove of. However, if that has been happening, all the people who are coming out now and saying these things were happening when she was alive. Yesterday's show I reported on the accountability. And the same thing happening now. Where was the accountability? Where were the people who were supposed to do checks and balances with respect to the arms and ammunition that is passing through that area there? You understand? How come now she's dead and all these things are popping up? They had mental notice, you understand? And if there was accountability, right? Like every day you have the arms check at 10 a.m. You have to make the arms check. 8 o'clock you have when you have to write the certificate and all these things. Then you have people who assigned weapons overnight. You have to keep on carry of government issued weapons to go home with. You have to come back and update the book. And all this, where are the accountability? So I don't understand now. She's dead. All these things are coming out. And apparently, as this happens now, we have to open our eyes and see that, according to Mr. Barnes, it's not only the police service, you have security services, you have other agencies who are using firearms and weapons. No, they need to do the checks and balances, show the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago in the security industry, not only the police. Because at the end of the day, things will happen. And only when things happen, then everybody will come up and say X, Y, Z. So if you're coming up now and say that you was knowledgeable that there was guns was being taken and at a smaller rate and sold and all these things, why only now they're coming out with that? Why only now? And this is what is troubling.
Yeah.
This is what is troubling. And this is a wake-up call for Trinidad and Tobago and the security industry. Because if it could happen in a police environment, it could happen anywhere.
You're sure right about
have a good day.
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Robert. And you're so right. But the thing about it, like most things, you find that it's only when something goes wrong, as when they say when the X hit the fan, you start to find out all manner of things going on. And that is when people start to talk more about all of these things. So I guess that is why, Robert. Zena, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning to Richard. Well, Wendell, he lost somewhere in space.
You'll find him by tomorrow, don't worry.
Wherever you are, Wendell. Sir Charles, You know, this whole police business is like we living in a twilight zone, as I say already. You know, it's a mess. You know, a long time now, we've been hearing that when the police find bullets from a crime scene, you remember we used to hear about their
markings,
police markings from police guns.
Yes.
So that what we are hearing now doesn't shock us. But as the last caller said, where is all the accountability from? And it's not only municipal now, you know, we have to look at all police stations, all. The national ones and the municipal ones. But so you realize that we in deep trouble here.
Yeah, we in a lot of trouble.
What is going on? And you know, they still want, and the Prime Minister she went on the platform with this gun, giving out guns for protection at your home and knock it and clip it and empty the thing and all that sort of thing. What we going to do if what is happening there, those got a lot of guns outside, and to put more in people's hands? Where thieves go in and some of them senior people place who have business and so on, beat them and take the same guns. I'm not in agreement with that. So now we seeing what going on, what we going to be living in the wild west.
Yeah.
Look, we in trouble. We in deep trouble with that. That is a mess.
Okay.
I don't know how they can even have that. But I want to say I said no to AI. But thanks, Captain Ron, and I think we all need to understand it more. You understand? Because one time I was thinking that, well, maybe the children would not be able to spell just now and all that. But from what Captain Ron, how he explained it, well, I believe I might have to change my mind. I want to hear more about it. You understand?
Yeah.
But the part about the just touching fingers, oh God, I hope the AI classes, and if they had to only be doing that, that they will have sessions for handwriting. Because some of them don't care write. I don't know.
No, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
They need some of the ABC classes to write, to learn to write, penmanship. They have to go do that along with the AI classes.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day all.
Yeah. AI is not it's not a tool to replace the teacher, you know. It is a learning aid. So like if a child gets and answers a question, you now can say, okay, well, all right, explain how you got to this point for me. So you make the child now not just go and look for the answer, but he look for the explanation for it, and he can show you the working for it and all those different kinds of things. And that is, I think, with that is how you will actually hold these children also, or anybody using it, accountable. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Charles.
Morning to you, sir.
Sir Charles, I don't know how long you've been following me, and if you've ever followed the Beyond the Tape program. But
yeah, I've heard you there for a long time.
Right. So then you may be aware that I have made allegations for years when the TTPS has been presenting guns in a box. I have been making allegations for years, but that gun looking like the same gun. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like they're recycling the same thing over and over and saying, they're fine weapons. I have been making these allegations for years, and here I am. Here it is now. We are seeing allegations being made that police have been selling guns to criminals. And if this is a fact, we have to. I now understand why they sent the head of the municipal police on suspension, because this is under your watch. You are telling me guns missing for have been missing for however long, and you don't know? The next question that I would like to ask is how much police it had in this municipal police station that you needed 50-something weapons, shotgun, this. I have never seen a municipal police on the street with a shotgun. So I cannot imagine what he was doing with three shotguns in a municipal police station and all them pistols. That pistols could be missing and you don't know it missing too. So I am glad that they send the head on suspension. I would like to see that action being disseminated in the TTPS as well. The person in charge of the Southern Division, where the cocaine went missing, where the drugs went missing, the bags of marijuana went missing, and they replaced it with blocks of wood. The head of that division should be sent on suspension too. That should be the standard operating procedure in the police service now. Now that we open that kind of rooms, I hope that's the standard operating procedure in the police service, so people of senior rank know that their head is on the chopping block when their subordinates do foolishness. And the subordinates also know that when I do foolishness, my senior going and get fired. So when I don't want to be a senior and some loose cannon come behind me and do foolishness, so I would now look to either run a tight ship or get your men and them under some kind of control. You follow what I'm saying, Sir Charles?
Yeah, I agree with you totally, Lincoln. I agree with you.
That's supposed to now be the standard operating procedure. The police commissioner should be held accountable. His head should be on the chopping block, or the person in charge of the task force that shot and killed Mr. Samaru. That person in charge of that unit, head supposed to be on the chopping block. All now because your team went out there and shot and killed a man with his hands clearly visible up in the air, and then you reported to the commissioner that it was a shootout, and we see on video evidence that it was not a shootout. Somebody had supposed to roll for that already. So let me not just put Mr. I don't remember his name, forgive me.
Yeah.
Let me not just use him as a scapegoat.
Right.
Let me keep that same energy all the way around.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lincoln. Thanks so much. Yeah, there are some gold standards that we have, barriers that we have broken down, and made cross to certain thresholds, and we need to maintain them now. Are we going to really maintain them? I don't know. I don't know how much confidence I have in us maintaining it, because Trinidad is a place where that's good for them, but that's not good for me. Dean, good morning.
Hey, so Charles, what's up? Yeah, I just wanted to jump in. That AI thing, what I'm looking at it to say that, you see that thing, we already having problems with children and students, and even before chat GDP and all these things with copy and pasting, plagiarizing and all these kind of stuff, right? And then chat GDP come in, and I'm talking at the university level, right? Just copy, and they're using it and lecturers having bummy. They even had to create an algorithm to sort out plagiarized articles and things lecturers use to recognize students doing copy and pasting and into the things. Now, when you're looking at AI textbook, there's part where they say they're summarizing it for you. And rightfully so, was it Jem was saying, the critical analysis that you want is problematic. You see, when Ron and they're talking to her, he's an adult. He's a big man, maybe had some proficiency in reading and literacy and critical analysis and all that kind of stuff. AI supports you in what you do, how to control. Are we talking about young, impressionable people who don't have a foundation in education yet? And if you don't give them that, you just drop in AI into them where they could summarize, do your thinking, your critical analysis and stuff. 10 years, 2 generations, you have a society that just not have lost their how to utilize their creative thinking, and that is problematic. You really have to look at that and really analyze what are the foundation, what education is, and the thing of what education means to a society, what it means to a human being in capturing their way to think, the way to use their dreams and ideas and go through a problem, even if it is amongst yourselves as a peer, student to student, working it out with the teacher is blinding. That's what I was telling RJ and thing. In Finland, they're going back to books, going back to the basic. They ain't destroying, they ain't scrapping the whole thing. But they have realized that the overly computerized, digitized support education system is creating a problem in their society, and the results that they're seeing, they don't like, and they're retooling to go back to certain parts of books and reading and things.
Yeah.
So, Charles, the foundation of learning is a foundation. It's basically based in reading, literacy, dreams, ideas, and working out the mechanics, how to work a problem out. AI not going to help you with that.
I didn't thanks much. We will definitely probably look to exploit a little later on inside of the mid-morning when we get there, because I don't think some of those things it will take away from things like reading and writing and stuff. It doesn't take away a teacher in a class still having those things in place. We still have to learn to write. We still have to learn to read, because all the information AI given you, how to read it, so you still have to do some reading, So I don't think it's going to be a total blanket, but we will look at it in greater detail as we go along. But for now, for what I know of it and how I have seen it working, I am tempted to give it a chance to see what it can do, and especially for students who are challenged. You see, that particular aspect of it, I think it will really help a long way with students who have challenges, who may have problems understanding a teacher with certain things. There just may be ways that you could reach people and children also, even with learning tools and stuff, because people just learn stuff when it becomes fun too, when it is on a platform that they like, and that is a serious thing that we could look at, because the children are now coming into technology, and this is what they know. Their brain seems to be naturally wired to technology, and there's no way that we can really run from it, but we have to try to incorporate it. See areas that we need to protect and learn from, because as Dean said, you're quite really there's a lot of information outside there. Look and see where others have maximized with it. Look and see where others have been struggling with it, and let's not find ourselves in those spaces. The world is a global village, right? But people, we have to leave it there for this morning. I want to thank all of you all for being part of the breakfast shows, for staying with us on the net, and we encourage you to share the links where you have those links, so we can continue to organically grow people across the globe. Yeah, of course. Don't forget, Scandal in Seizures is on this weekend, and it's going to be at Cipriani College. That's in Valsay there. Tickets are on sale. The box office is one of the places I know for sure where you can go and get your tickets right now. Saturday it's at 8:30, and on Sunday it is at 6:30 p.m. So come out and experience the Scandal. Two fat fellas, two fat guys, whichever it is, they are on also this week at, I think they are at Central Bank in Port of Spain, same kind of timing. So yeah, theaters alive and well, go out and support it. And there are other things happening in other spheres. And if you don't have anything to do with all of those things, guess what? You can stay with us on NETT Radio, because we provide you with good entertainment, musically and otherwise, to make sure we take you through the weekend. God's willing, tomorrow, Wendell should be back with us. He should be on board. Hope he'll get a good Trini rest tonight, and we'll be ready for the show tomorrow morning when we return. So all in all, people, stay with us. David Abdullah is up next with the Tuesday Talk. So all you have to switch across, right? netradiott.com. Come across and listen to that. And yeah, what else? This has been The Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned